we still call President Trump the leader of the free world? Can we still call him the leader of the United States?
All he had to do was not, put on jammies and crawl under the covers with Vladimir Putin, and he couldn't do that.
I have never seen an American president simply surrender to the leader of Russia. You should call this the Surrender Summit.
The definition it meets is the first word of the impeachment article in the Constitution, which is treason, bribery, and high crimes and misdemeanors.
We all know that Vladimir Putin is holding something over Donald Trump. We do not know what it is, but we know it must be something extraordinary.
Just more of the corrupt, anti-Trump, fairly predictable, dishonest mainstream media spreading their liberal narratives about the Helsinki summit. Joining us now with reaction, author of the book Out Next Week. Finally, it's here. The Russia hoax, which, by the way, explains a lot of this, if not all of it, the illicit scheme to clear Hillary Clinton and frame Donald Trump. 1 week from today, Amazon.com and Hannity.com. Fox News legal analyst Greg Jarrett also with us. Fox News investigative reporter and contributor Sarah Carter. Greg, let's start with you, and let's start with the media reaction to all of this. I just laid out all the times that Donald Trump had said Russia was involved in meddling. Sure. So the media, the premise of their argument is provably wrong, but it didn't stop the hysteria, nor did they explain to the American people that deserve the truth that this all happened on their watch, on Obama's watch, right. Clinton's watch, Comey's watch, Brennan's watch, Clapper's watch, and the rest of them.
3 months ago, on April 6th, the president signed an order imposing new sanctions on Putin and Russia. And he issued a statement at the time saying he's doing this because Russia interfered in our 2016 election, trying to sow discord. So he has said this repeatedly, but the media has amnesia. This president has been tougher on Putin and Russia in 18 months in office than Barack Obama in 8 years. Last summer, he issued new tough sanctions on Russia and their energy industry and their defense industry. He's expelled dozens of Russians from this country. He shut down diplomatic properties in Washington, New York, and San Francisco. So for the media to suggest that this president is siding with Putin, he's in his pocket, he doesn't believe that the Russians meddled, is ludicrous.
Let's get your take, Sarah Carter, especially from the perspective knowing Brennan, Clapper. There's information on Brennan that will be coming out that I think is fairly devastating to him.
Well, when you have members of the intelligence community, Sean, particularly the former director of the CIA, John Brennan, literally going out against the President of the United States, going out against his own nation, you have a very serious problem. And the information that's going to be coming out on Brennan, I believe, is damaging. One of the biggest questions that we have is, what was the role of the CIA in this Russia investigation? What role did Brennan play? Was he coordinating with the FBI? Were other agencies involved? And I think when you have someone like John Brennan, and you have an agency, a powerful agency like the CIA, whose edict is to go after foreign threats, but instead looks into political discourse and our political state here within the country and assists in that with the FBI, then we have something very frightening. This is something that shouldn't be happening.
Yeah, everything that we've been discussing here, they rig an investigation and they help a favored candidate. Then they set out to destroy a second candidate. Then, all of that information, then literally it's a bought and paid for dossier to lie to the American people, kind of like Pravda, kind of like propaganda. And it's Russian lies of all things. The media ignores all of that. It's even used as the bulk of information to obtain the FISA warrant. All right, we have new information today that apparently Lisa Page is now contradicting Peter Strzok. I will start with you, Sarah.
Yes, that was the information that I received today as well, Sean, that her testimony appeared to be very credible. It appeared to contradict Peter Strzok's testimony. They will be reviewing that again. They are going to be taking a very close look at that. This is really interesting because, remember, this was the interview that Congress wanted all along. Now, another very important point, I think this is something that investigators, particularly on Capitol Hill, are looking at, is the onslaught of documentation that shows how far the FBI went. Not only the FBI, but other agencies within the U.S. government in coordinating either with the dossier as well as other information, anti-Trump information. And this is something that they want to take a look at. They also have 19 pages of the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act warrant that was taken out on Carter Page. This was the very last one. They have the 19 pages. They want to make it public. They want the rest of the country to know what they're looking at.
And the president can demand that these be released, as all three of us now have said.
The president should demand the release of these documents. He should. And the American people have a right to see it.
Greg, we'll give you the last word tonight.
Lisa Page, reportedly under oath, said that the text messages from Strzok meant what they said. He, of course, claimed they didn't mean that.
By the way, wasn't he under oath?
Yes, he was. And so that would mean that if she's telling the truth and he's not, he may have perjured himself. Plus, driven by animus and bias, he may have used his office to clear Hillary Clinton for political reasons and launch the investigation to frame Donald Trump, which would be obstruction of justice and abuse of power.
By the way, that's the title of a new book that's coming out next week. Finally, it's here. And you can get your copy in bookstores everywhere starting Monday. All right. Thank you both. When we come back, you want to hear the great one, Mark Levini's Fire.